Right now, it's welcome back to the Targa Bambina. It's been a while since the roar of horsepower has echoed through the roads south of the Bombay Hills, but it's back. The event that tests man, woman and machine on roads we use every day. This one special weekend of the year is Targa Bambina for 2009. 70 cars have lined up to contest the 17 special stages. Two classes, classic and modern, with a big change in seating. Rather than the traditional slowest to fastest on the road, this time the slowest classic cars will start, but the fastest moderns will start right on their heels. A novel alternative which sees all the powerful machinery on display midfield.
Oh, well, we'll see how it goes. I think it should be a good format, actually. I think the minute gaps will be great, and hopefully with faster cars in front won't be catching and holding you down, so it should be a good start, good move.
Harry Dodson, another favourite for a modern podium, is back in his two-wheel drive Nissan Skyline, but he's wary of his chances.
Compared to a lot of the other cars, obviously we're quite a bit heavier and obviously a bit more power, and so it's just a two-wheel drive, just a bit harder than those guys in four-wheel drive cars.
And four-wheel drive cars are being led by Jason Gill, a regular top finisher in Targa events, and he isn't unhappy about starting in the damp conditions in his Evo 9.
It's probably more suited to the four-wheel drive, but I think it's going to fine up during the day.
All right, who do you see as your main opposition today, mate?
Probably Harry directly in front of us and Brent behind us.
But let's not forget the wild card in all this, and we mean wild. Lee Hopper burst onto the Targa stage 3 years ago as a rookie with a brand new licence and WRX, and probably burst off it in spectacular style after consistently being in the top 10 for several days of Dunlop Targa. Hopper is consistent, 3 smashes from 3 starts. He is fast and must be considered a chance, but his Achilles heel is the wet, and the forecast is rain.
But, you know, you've really got to just button off and just cruise through. Hopefully you get out of it and put your foot down again, you know. But, yeah, no, I'm nervous on the wet bits. Every time you come off, it's been the wet.
We want rain. You know, we definitely want rain. I love the rain. We want rain. And we've got rain. Look at this.
Anton Talent is a previous winner in Dunlop Targa in modern category, but he's back in an older RX-7, this time in classic. Neil Tollich's V8 Ford Piranha is back after a win last year, but not with the man who's normally behind the wheel.
He did very well in the car at Rotorua in the last Targa. I think he was second outright and won the classic category. And he hasn't put any pressure on me, but he says I've got to go one better.
Greg Paula's back in a Fiat, but not his usual 124 Sport.
I'm looking forward to using the Fiat 125T, which was the car that we built, obviously, for Peking to Paris in 2007. So we're here and looking forward to driving. It should be a challenge driving something else rather than the old faithful 124.
Speaking of old faithfuls, Reg Cook has been belting cars around the roads and tracks of New Zealand for longer than he'd care to remember. The man is a legend in this land, but he's cautious about his return to tarmac.
I've got to live up to my own expectations, and you know, I probably sometimes overdrive, and today I've got to try and underdrive, so I've got to take the pressure off.
A newcomer to Targa, Richard Lane, has a Bitzer, a classic old scimitar with a modern power plant, and that lands him in amongst the modern cars.
It's got an LS1 Commodore V8 engine in it with a Ford 9-inch rear, so we're expecting to do reasonably good things for us. It's our first ever Targa, so it's a little bit of a handful on the wet, so we'll be taking it fairly careful. We want to finish this, so use it as a shakedown before the main Targas.
So, first time in the first stage of his first Targa, and guess what? The first crash of Targa Bambina. Both Lane and co-driver Alan Hamilton will be okay, but they're carted off to hospital, leaving the scimitar and their fledgling Targa career in tatters. And a timely warning for those following to take it easy in the wet. Not surprisingly, the battle in Metal Man Classic is between Parsons and Talent, with the bright orange Ford edging out the blue and white RX-7 in each morning stage. Any wonder the man is known as Skid Mark. Consistently in the top 5 through the morning is another regular in the unusual Holden-powered Cheetah. Tony Butler flying the flag for the Cure Kids charity, and with his wife along for the ride, his 10th event, her first. He'll be doing everything to keep it on the road today, no doubt.
Where are we going?
Left. Left.
Nicholas Cooper is another early top 5 finisher in his distinctive black Valiant Charger.
Just getting to the end of the day is the goal, but if I've got a good place, I'll be doubly happy.
But the Flying Doctor will need to find an antidote to keep Stuart Eyre at bay in his Mazda RX-3 as the pair fight on through the morning stages. The name Kirk Burnand usually adorns the Targa leaderboard sometime during a Targa, but not today.
First corner of the first stage, just died. Fuel pump problems, we found out later on, but unfortunately we had 2 stages we had to drive with stopping and starting and stopping and starting, and eventually got to the end of the stage. We withdrew, found out it was a fuel pump, put a new fuel pump in, and from then on it's been fine.
Lee Hopper's obviously put his wet weather concerns behind him and blisters through the first stage to take the modern lead by 8 seconds from Jason Gill in the Evo 9. The Subaru-Mitsubishi battle is kept honest by Harry Dodson's Nissan Skyline, second quickest through the 8.2-kilometre Special Stage 2. Rookie Ricky Giddy keeps his Subaru WRX right in the mix as well, second and third most stages before lunch. Honda's Bob Boniface scoots up the leaderboard in the morning, placing the ageing and oddball Evo-powered Ford Cosworth amongst the fastest 5 until he slips on oil and down the leaderboard in Special Stage 5. We didn't see it, but then no one else saw the oil either, Bob. Brent Early doesn't rise through the pack as he would have hoped, the Cantabrian doing his best to stay in the top 10 through the morning. But Reg Cook is true to his word, under-driving his Nissan Pulsar. He might not make the leaderboard with any startling exploits, but he will make the finish. And in this game, that's a big part of the battle. The big surprise, though, is Malcolm Smith in the early model Evo 4, hovering outside the 10 until Special Stage 5, when he blasts his way clear to 4th outright. The 2 afternoon stages, Special Stages 6 and 7, are a repeat run through Papakura to the east of the home of Targa, using a section of road regularly included in Dunlop Targa as the shakedown or prologue. Stuart Eyre's Mazda RX-3 is his rotary of choice, and for good reason.
It's a good little car because it's light, and the reason we built a 3 as opposed to a 7 when we did it is an RX-3 you can see out of an RX-7 you can't because you're sitting too low. And these are a good little car. They're pretty similar wheelbase to an Escort, and we've added some nice brakes and things like that, so it does what it should do.
The RX-3 is doing what it should do. Third quickest in Special Stage 4 before lunch and holding down 4th outright throughout the day. But it's the RX-7 of Anton Talent is always in front of him. Mark Parsons drives the borrowed Piranha like it was stolen, first and second through the remaining stages of the day to maintain his lead in Classics class. Barry Kirkburnand returns to form though, snatching the first stage win after lunch from Parsons, the new fuel pump in the M3 delivering him to the top spot in the penultimate stage of the day in Classic. But on the repeat run, Tony Butler's Cheetah springs up into second for the stage and a creditable third in Classic for the day, despite the new handbrake alongside.
We've had a very good day. It's been the first time that I've had my wife in the passenger seat. So although I've done 10 or 12 Targas, Joe's never done one. So she had a fantastic day, and we had a very enjoyable time.
Nothing separates the top 3 at Modern through the last 2 stages. Rick Giddy fastest both times by just a second, but Lee Hopper dead heats Giddy on the last run of the day.